right, everybody. So we're gonna start off with our news of the week multiverse minute. So I will kickstart this off with the first thing that we want to talk about today. Avengers Endgame is being re-released, as everyone knows, officially in September of this year. But
Mhm.
what is new is it was revealed during the CinemaCon presentation about a week or two ago now that there's going to be new footage. Now, for a while, we thought, okay, we knew there's going to be maybe deleted scenes, things like this, but the Russo brothers have officially confirmed this is new footage. This is Avengers Doomsday production footage being put into Avengers Endgame. So we wanted to give our 2 cents about it because that's a big deal. You don't hear of movies going back in almost 10 years later and doing new footage and now making it officially canon. So, Ike, what are your thoughts on this and what do you suspect this is going to be?
Boy, this is a tough one, Sam. I got to tell you. I want to like this because, hey, more cool stuff that we get from the Russos, and especially when it comes down to the Avengers, awesome. But the other part of me is like, what? What are we doing now?
Mm-hmm.
This really just makes me feel more solidified, even more so, that they're fixing a problem that they've had with the MCU since the end of Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, arguably, I'd say the only time they still had their crap together was probably with Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that'd be Spider-Man No Way Home. That'd be Spider-Man Far From Home. Like, No Way Home was a hit, but I still don't think they know what they were doing when they did that movie. Well, when they come down to the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I read some of this and I heard what he had actually said when he was talking, and he actually said it's essential for Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a big word, man. Like when you say essential, which means you're telling me I got to go watch 2 movies to see Doomsday now. I don't know if I can afford that. Like
Yeah.
we would, because
Yeah.
that's just it. We're hooked. They got us, right? But that to me feels like, oh, you didn't read the fine print, so you got an extra bill, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I mean, what is it that could possibly be in it that is so essential that I need to know going forward?
Yeah.
Like, especially that far back. It's
Yeah.
not like, hey, by the way, we're going to release like a little hour special on our thing, or on our, on Disney Plus, that you should probably see because it's going to give some fun Doom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is a movie that, how long ago was Endgame? I
2019.
mean, guys, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. We're going back 8 years. Right. 8
Yeah.
years.
And are we talking extended scene? Is this just, I mean, are we going to go see the same movie with maybe some extended cut scenes, which would be neat to see?
Mm-hmm.
I would. I mean, God, I went to see the Lord of the Rings extended cuts in the theaters. Took a long time, but I saw them.
Yeah.
I would do that for these movies as well. I'd watch a 4-hour cut of Endgame if that's what they got out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not thinking, though, it's going to change where we are now, though. Just thinking I'm getting more. I mean, is it just going to be an added on post-credit scene? Because if it's just that, then just put it in a trailer, guys. Like,
Mm-hmm.
or put it in the movie you got coming out that we're going to buy to see anyways.
Yeah.
What can't you tell us in the movie that you got to tell us at Endgame, which makes me worried that, is there something that they're going to change in Endgame that's going to make us feel differently about what happened in Endgame? That will bother the hell out of me.
So Endgame is such a great movie. Arguably, you ask anybody whatever they feel about any of the movies in Phase 4, 5, and 6, and all that stuff. Some hits, some misses, all that stuff. But the majority of people will say that Marvel has not been the same since Endgame. So now you're going to go back to arguably your biggest movie of the whole franchise. And so when I first heard this, by the way, I thought, okay, they have deleted scenes. We knew they had deleted scenes. And so if that's what their gimmick to get us to go and see it, and we always knew the Russo brothers said that Doomsday is their version of a sequel to Endgame. But look at the cast that they have. They have the Thunderbolts in there, they have the Fantastic Four. So it's not like they're trying to wipe clean everything that happened in the past 8 years now. They're utilizing them, but maybe for us to revisit Endgame and see, okay, they're trying to tell us there's a connection between the events of Endgame and the events of Doomsday. And so they're encouraging people with this Infinity Vision stuff going into theaters. Hey, we want you to rewatch it. We're going to do a little bit of a a campaign push for you to guarantee you're gonna watch it, and we'll make some more money on the side when you go and buy your tickets, which that is a big thing to ask. Avengers Endgame made close to $3 billion,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
If not 3,
Something along that line.
something. It was the number
Overall,
it
yeah.
was the number 1 movie in the world for a long time until China re-released Avatar, whatever. But, um, so people already proved they've watched this movie 2 or 3 times in the theaters already
Oh,
to
yeah,
make that much money.
yeah.
So now and it's one thing to say, "Go and have a good time and rewatch it again, experience all that again in the theaters." That's cool, and us hardcore Marvel fans, we're gonna do it because we loved it. That was cool. But if they're saying that the new footage is Doomsday footage, and this is a masterpiece of a movie, what does this mean? Is and I
Essential was his word.
Yes, it's essential for you to watch this in order to watch Doomsday, which that makes me think, okay, what happens if someone skips Endgame because they don't want to sit through a 3.5 to 4 hour movie? Because let's face it, new footage on a over 3 hour movie already, you're pushing that mark. For us in America, that is sometimes a tall order to ask. Where if you go to places like Bollywood and India and things like that, they're used to 3.5 4 hour movies. Like that's part of their cinema. Well, over here, that was a big new thing because that's one of the reasons why Zack Snyder's Justice League didn't get approved because it was
That's
a
right.
4 hour movie. And you watch Endgame now, and you think, I could, and now you watch the Zack Snyder Justice League, you're like, we would have sit through
It's a
that.
masterpiece, yeah,
Yes. So
and that's hard for me to say about Zack Snyder, but
yeah, it was good, but, this stuff that worries me. I assumed they were gonna do post-credit scene. Maybe the whole post-credit scene is a good 20 minutes of what Steve did with the stones, because everyone has been asking, "Why haven't we seen something of that would've been cool," and, I won't be surprised that's in this movie. It's just an extended scene of Steve returning the stones, and along the way, you find out what actually happens to him type thing. I don't know.
yeah, that still
But
couldn't have
even
been the
then,
beginning of
that
Doomsday,
that kinda
you know?
they have to be careful how they do that because
Yeah,
Steve ended on such a good note, and bringing him back, m messing up a movie. This is, this and I'm not saying it is gonna be messed up, guys, because we don't know.
we have
We
no
could
idea.
watch this and be like, "Oh, this was how it's supposed to meant to be." But it does beg the question of how damaged do they think Marvel is that they have to go back to their $3 billion masterpiece, redo scenes of it, like, extended scenes of it. Like, it's not on the chopping room floor, we're just gonna update the CGI and you're gonna get that Hulk and the rescue of the fire scene and all that, which they had. You're gonna get new stuff from, I'm assuming Steve Rogers, Captain America. I'm assuming some of these other people. For all we know, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Tony Stark again for an extended scene, a new scene. Like, deleted scenes put into an extended director's cut version of a movie is one thing. That's cool. As we saw with Bryan Singer's Days of Future Past, that's sometimes needed. But going back through and re-chopping this up, however they're gonna do it, and I might sound dramatic at it, but it it does worry me. It
Yeah.
worries me on how they are gonna do the Doomsday movie because Kevin Feige's big thing is we don't need any more homework, but yet now you're gonna give us a 3 to 4 hour movie homework to make sure when we watch Doomsday, we know what's going on. That's what worries me.
Yeah, and the issue, and here's my big issue, is it's not so much them re-releasing it and saying, "Hey, look, we added some stuff in that might be fun
Yeah.
for Doomsday when it comes." When you say things like essential, though, that makes guys like us and like anyone that's watching this go, "Well, we got to know what it is. We can't go into it not knowing then."
Mhm.
So we have to watch this movie. So what are they going to do? They're going to pull. I'm already paying money to see this on Disney Plus, so they're just going to pull Endgame off Disney Plus, and the only way you can see Endgame then before this movie is to go see it, or we're just not going to see that version of the movie. So you're going to have how many people out there? And I worry: is this a ploy to just get the box office bigger than Avatar? Because if it is, you're still telling your fans this is essential viewing.
Mhm.
It'd be one thing to say, hey, for the fun of it, we want Endgame to be on your mind for the last thing on your mind, or the first thing on your mind, I should say, before you walk into Doomsday, because things in Doomsday are going to make you go, oh, I'm glad I watched Endgame last. You know, That's not what you're saying. You're saying things in Endgame now of whatever this re-release is essential for us to see in Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be honest with you guys. What a kick, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to swear, but I want to, because it's like, we already know you're in cleanup mode.
Yeah.
You can deny it all day. We know you are.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. I don't care what they say about, oh, no, we've talked. No, you didn't. You went running to the Russos when you saw how bad things are going, and they fixed it. But also now I'm worried about, what does that mean for what we've gotten before? I don't think they have any plans of retconning anything we got from Endgame on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's their goal. I think they've added a scene that is going to be probably important enough for us to have to see. And that bugs me. Robert Meyer Burnett said on John Campea, I watched this the other day, and I hope he's right. I hope it is just a throwaway scene that is cool, that if you had it in your mind when you went and watched the movie, it adds some more to it, but you don't really need to see it, right? Because that's kind of how Bryan Singer's Days of Future Past was.
Mm-hmm.
You can not watch the road cut, and it's still just as good moving forward.
Yeah.
You can watch the road cut, and it changes nothing moving forward.
It just enhances.
It just makes that movie a little better.
Great. Yeah.
And it makes it a little more, oh, cool, at least that character was involved.
Yeah.
If that's what they do, fine. I get it, but don't tell us essential to go on, because... And Robert, he had a real great, Robert Meyer. I want to give Robert Meyer Burnett credit for this, but he said, "What if it's a post-credit scene of Doom killing the other universe's version of Thanos?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that would be cool, because we'd see a power set of his.
Yeah, that would be neat. Detrimental to Doomsday,
and it wouldn't matter if I saw it or not, because we're going to see it also in Doomsday how powerful he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think the worst thing it can be is Cap taking the stones back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's big.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that should have been an 8-episode show. Or how many stones were there? That should have been that many episodes of a show.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. If you were going to do a TV show, that's the TV show I wanted, was a Captain America Returning the Stones show.
Yeah.
And just the fun adventure of whatever that would have been. Because I would have loved to see his face when he saw Red Skull. Like, oh my, you know what I mean? Like, that'd have been neat, But to gloss, and that to me is something you could do 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of Doomsday, is show Cap taking the stones back. Because you're not hiding Cap already. He's all over the place in the marketing. So it's not like showing him the beginning of the movie is a surprise. We know he's coming. So just open the movie with him leaving on the time machine, and we'd be like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yep.
Thinking that we've skipped a bunch of stuff, and to just show that happen, and then something, whatever, mystic thing or whatever, Doom or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, either way, this feels like I gotta go see this. I don't know. I gotta tell you, I almost might not, just in spite. But it's gonna be itching.
We don't want to sound like Debbie Downer.
We planned on going to see this anyway.
We were gonna go see it anyway. So to put more an optimistic spin on this, because we're getting off on they're probably gonna ruin something that we like, which I'm gonna give the Russo brothers credit until I see them actually do something that will make me believe that can happen.
Yeah, we can't deny this doesn't feel desperate, though.
It does feel desperate.
I don't know what the angle is, whether it's the box office numbers for beating Avatar, and this is just their way of sticking it to them, which you could have got us to do that by just telling us to. Because we want to stick it to them. We don't need extra footage to do it.
Yeah, but I get it. So for me, if I had to go through a checklist of the green check marks being good and a red X being okay, hold on a moment. Re-releasing Endgame because they want us to rewatch it in preparation for Doomsday, not because it's essential, but just because it's a fun watch and get that experience again. Green check mark, great.
Yeah.
Adding some deleted scenes that are left on a cutting room floor, or even filming an extended scene that doesn't change the quality of the movie, it just enhances it. Green check. That sounds cool for me. I'm always down for more Endgame.
Yeah.
Trying to test out this new Infinity Vision rollout in September in preparation for Doomsday and using one of their #1 movies to do so. Green check mark. That sounds cool. I'm all for it. Where it gets to the red X's is you have to watch this movie in order to get this main storyline of Doomsday. I want to say I don't think they're going to do that, but Marvel, unfortunately, you've gotten a bad taste in some of our mouths where we have to watch the TV shows in order to get the movie and vice versa. And that's what we didn't want anymore. And Kevin Feige, you specifically said, I don't want this to be homework anymore. So if this really is that part that worries me, you've given us cramming for a test that no one is ready for. You're giving us the biggest amount of homework any teacher has given for a fan. And
Yeah,
that
could have said it better.
yeah, that th and that basically is how we're gonna end this part, guys. We wanna know what you think. Do you, agree with our concerns? Do you think we're being a little too pessimistic, or is there should be a more optimistic tone that you guys are gonna have that we should be having? And we'll try to be more optimistic, of course, but, this is Endgame. This is the crown jewel of everything that the MCU has spent over a decade building. And now you're going back to reshape it to get ready for another film that is your cleanup film for the past 8 years. That's where the concern comes from. So
Yeah.
this is all love. It comes nothing it's all from our hearts that we're just concerned. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? We want to know. Please comment below and share your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's our next thing we're
All right, guys, let's go into something a little more delightful, I guess. There's something I could be a little hard on. I can be hard on them guys, but that's how I feel about it. But we're actually going to give you the first DC news that we've
Mhm.
decided to do. We aren't going to jump into any DC retrospective movies, guys, until after we've finished our Marvel journey, which includes a lot of Marvel movies beyond the MCU. But I don't know if that's going to stay that way. We might jump in back and forth with DC after we get done with the MCU, but right now we're sticking with the MCU proper until we get to Doomsday. But we do want to stay up on it because it's big and we do love this stuff, and we want to talk about it. So with that said, James Gunn's DC Studios releases the body horror trailer to the Clayface, due to release this October.
October. What a great time to release
Yeah.
a semi-horror looking type or vibe movie.
Fall has always been my favorite time for horror. Is my When I'm at home, that's when I watch horror movies, man. I have a stack of horror movies that are essential every year. I watch all the time, every year during that time of month, and it's
hmm
just because it's the end of things. Things are dying. It's scary time. It's Halloween. It's a great time for something spooky like this. So, Sam, what'd you think of the trail? You literally just watched it not too long
Yeah,
ago.
it's been a busy week, folks. So
Yeah.
when it dropped, I didn't have time to watch it or do a quick reaction video online like I was hoping I would when this does happen. But like I said, this is not our job to do. The Goodell Multiverse is a hobby of ours that we're happy you're able to watch and listen and just enjoy our conversation. So I did just watch it right before cameras for us started rolling. I wanted it fresh in my brain too, and I also want to give my 2 cents on it. Anyone who knows me knows I am a Marvel nerd, number one. But the one thing of DC that I always will say can trump a lot of Marvel stuff is the Batman universe.
Oh yeah.
I love Batman. That's one character for Superman just doesn't do it too much for me. He's cool, I get it, but yeah, he doesn't do too much for me. Wonder Woman, I love her, but I don't know too much about her lore, so it's stuff I'm learning all the time. And by the way, Gal Gadot, she makes it easier for me to watch it because she's just an amazing, beautiful woman. Just gotta say it. But Batman, part of my French, he is the shit of DC.
Oh,
He
well,
is.
he's a shit across the board.
He is
Batman
so
wins every
oh
time.
my gosh, there's a reason why so many
Yeah.
great actors have been able to portray him, and he's been keeping up this fan base. You can get different flavors of him. And his rogue gallery, like I've said before in this podcast, compared to Spider-Man, there's a huge rogues gallery,
One of the
and they
best.
are cool. Speaking of which, Clayface is a Batman villain. So this is the Batman universe. This is our first glimpse into James Gunn's DC's Studios Batman because
Side, yeah. Yep.
yeah, because he still has yet to announce who his Batman's gonna be to the Superman that he already released. Um, but I'll be honest, guys, this is my concern. Um, and DC doesn't have to do this, and maybe I'm gonna be proven wrong. I know that Ike's probably gonna have a good conversation with me about this because he's a little more optimistic of this than I am. But I smell a Sonyverse coming on with stuff like
Ooh.
this. Call it a hot take if you want. I watched the trailer. I thought it was good. It wasn't too horror-y, just the way that it was cut. But also, it feels like what you did with Madam Web and with Morbius. You did a villain of a hero that you're not gonna have the hero in there. Now, the fortunate thing is they have the opportunity in this because they own all the characters and there's no rights issues and um things that they can and can't say. So Clayface can mention Batman all he wants, and that's cool. That's fine. But Clayface is a C-level villain that you are putting into a feature film releasing into theaters.
Hmm.
So say what you want about whether you liked or didn't like Madam Web. You might be one of the 5 people on the planet that really, really liked it, and good for you. It's your taste. You might be one of the 5 people that are going to be going into this movie saying it's probably going to be one of their best movies ever because you like the body horror stuff. Good for you. And that's my observation. Is I don't think there's a lot of hype to this movie. I think it's actually kind of weird. They're doing a Clayface movie in the Batman universe before establishing your Batman. I don't know. It might be a sleeper hit. It might be one of those. It reminds me of the Joker. The Joker movie, the first one, did a great job. Joaquin Phoenix, great job. I haven't personally seen it, but I see all the reviews. I see the money it made. They greenlit a sequel right away. The problem is there's only so long you could do with a villain that if you don't have that hero counterpart, as we saw Joker 2, which I didn't see it, but I saw the reviews, it was a complete 180.
Hold on. Hot take here. You haven't seen the first Joker with him?
I have not seen the first
Wow.
Joker
yet. You should watch it. But watch it and don't even think about Batman Joker stuff.
No.
Because they don't want you to.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody out there that loves that at the first one. Why they don't like the second one is because they kept their promise on what that first one was, which was not a Batman movie. Mm-hmm. So everyone's all butthurt that the second one didn't follow through, but they told you it wasn't going to. So you don't have to watch it because it really is not the Joker, guys. They did that as a ploy. They thought that'd be a fun character to make a backstory on, and they did, and they have fun with that universe stuff, but with no intentions of making you think of anything that has anything to do with Batman. So it's on you guys out there on why you think it's bad. It's not them, because they're both good if you don't take them as Batman movies. Because that is good. It is good. He's really good in it. But it's not a Batman movie. It's just, you just need, there's like, what would you do? And he tells you guys in the marketing, what would this character be like without all that stuff? And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what are you guys expecting? You didn't. So that second one, it's weird. So was the first one. Anyways. Yeah, we should talk about that. Maybe that'll be a future movie we watch, guys. Sometime.
Oh, we will.
Because it is really good. It's a really good movie.
Into the DC extended universe and talk about everything about that and do some retrospectives of those too. But so my reaction to the Clayface trailer, to boil it all down, is it's okay. It's nothing I'm clamoring to see. And just knowing what I know of the Batman lore, I'm not predicting it's going to do well. So.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll tell you my thoughts about it, and I kind of want to counterattack a little bit. Not attack, but I definitely want. Maybe I can sway your mind. Make you feel at ease. Yeah. Well, make him feel a little at ease, because I don't think you're wrong in everything you said. I do think this is a strange pick for the first one. Let me say this about the trailer straight up. It's a little underwhelming. It's a fun trailer. It's pretty good. It's got some disturbing stuff in it, but it's like but it is a teaser, so it's not really a big deal, right? It's not a lot to see. I'm going to warn everybody right now, this is not going to be a scary movie. They're going to sell this as a scary movie. There's going to be horror elements in the movie, but you're still going to get a comic book movie. I promise you. When I watch this, I can see just in the undertone, they're just going to play around with, it's going to be kind of like the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Everyone thought, oh, Sam Raimi, a touch of horror. Well, the little bit of horror touch you got in it was exactly the kind of stuff you're going to get in this. What I will say, though, is James Gunn excels at these B, C characters when it comes down to, and you think of Guardians and all of them, and you think of the Suicide Squad that he did, the good one, or the one that the studio let them make, wink. Because I will defend Jared Leto all day. We'll get there, guys. Anyways, I trust James Gunn to take this character and make it interesting. I do agree with you, though. It's not going to make a lot of money. But I don't think he's worried about that right now. Same with like how when Superman came out. I think James Gunn and the studio understand that these movies need to not so much worry about the money as they need to the quality, because that was the problem before, which is why Marvel hired him back after their debacle with him. because it's like, okay, we need Guardians 3 to still be as good as the other two. You know, I mean, I don't know how everybody feels about those two, but they're great movies. And his quality of what he sees in these films is going to be what is the bigger deal. So I don't think this movie took a lot to make, and I don't think it's going to need to make a lot to break even. So I don't think it's going to be, make Superman money, but they didn't think Superman was going to make the kind of money it did. And he didn't need Superman Superman could have lost money and it still would have been a success as long as it was good. I have my trepidations about Superman, but ultimately though, it was good enough to what, obviously look at the money, guys, look what it made, and now Supergirl's coming right after it. And James said that they're looking at it as a script. When the script is finished and it's full and they know it's something and they have a plan, that's the movie that gets greenlit next. And I think that this movie just happens to be, it's there. And that's how he's going to form his DCU universe, is it's going to be, we will construct the bigger story around the scripts and the movies that are ready to go and not force them to happen. And this is ready to go. So he goes, well, this looks like it's going to be the first one in my Batman side, which it's either, once again, a huge risk, like a Sonyverse kind of risk, or it might be genius. And why I say that is this might give us the best insight on what he might want to do when it comes down to his version of Batman. If you go way back in time when Batman was still just a young little bat, okay? It was the Detective Comics is what they used to call them. And there is a long running series in those Detective Comics that reoccurs several different times throughout several. I mean, I don't know, I think there's over 300 different Detective Comics of Batman. And Clayface is his main villain. And that's when Batman was like, I'm a detective, hardcore. The cops really, I'm kind of becoming, he's kind of like the Robert Pattinson of that version, okay? And if that's the case, and that's what he's going for, then that's the kind of Batman we're going to get, is a Batman that is still learning to be Batman, still probably a young Batman-ish. I think we're going to get a Batman that's been there for a few years, but he's also going to be a super detective Batman. And Clayface is a kind of bad guy in those old detective comics I'm familiar enough with that he's reoccurring, and he will find himself mixed in with other villains. In fact, there's an iteration of Clayface where Clayface is around before Bruce even becomes Batman. And if that's this movie, then we don't even need to talk about Batman because he's not a thing yet in this, right? And this might be so, this is just low-level criminal, like he's just a guy that goes bad, starts killing, does his thing, becomes Clayface, and finds himself mixed in with people like the Joker. So it's either brilliant, where he's going to be a reoccurring side character that if you took the biggest Batman nerds out there and sat them down, I think Clayface is on their top 5 of his bigger villains out there. If you count those old, which I think we should, I think he wants us to. And I think this is his way of getting in that tone of, I'm giving you the old school, the Detective Comics Batman, which means his big villain before Joker, before Penguin, before Two-Face was Clayface. And if that's the case, I'm kind of in, Now, once again, the reception of it, we got to see, right?
Yeah.
The trailer was underwhelming, but it's a teaser. Who knows? I'd like to see a little more. I think once we see the next trailer and we see more what the story might be, we'll kind of get an idea, That's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, that's the only rebuttal I have to you, is have some hope. If we get cynical about it, then yes, this is like, why are we doing this? Like without Batman first? But maybe this is his way of, I'm going to get you ready for what I want you to feel like when you do get Batman. Because I have a feeling he's got, I don't know, I'm going to give James Gunn a lot of credit. I think he's got an ace up his sleeve. I think whatever idea he has about, because you got to think about this, guys. We're how many movies in? His DCU is Superman, Supergirl's coming real quick. They've already started filming the next Superman.
Yes. Yeah,
And
it just started like a day or two.
Yeah. And here we are. Here's the teaser trailer to Clayface. We're talking 5 movies in. We don't even know who Batman is yet. He knows Batman's important. He's not dumb. Like, you don't do this DCU without knowing, I got to bring a Batman to the table. I think he's already got it set up. I think he's ready. And I think he's waiting for the moment
Yeah.
of this is, I want to set you up. So when it happens, we're going to be like, oh, here it is. Because he's done that with his other movies.
Mhm.
So
Part of me just wishes the Robert Pattinson Batman was gonna be the Batman there.
he's really good as Batman.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
because he would need a winner like that to make sure his new DC Studios is being strong, running in strong. Like I'm not trying to diss the Superman movie. It wasn't really too much of my cup of tea.
Right.
My first reaction when I watched it is this felt like a sequel to a Superman movie that we never got to see the first one.
Truth is, though, it is the better of the Superman movies that's been out for a long time. So,
It is more engaging, I would say, than
yeah.
Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel, but I was a little more engaged with this movie. It did feel more comic book-y, which Superman, for the type of character he is, he excels at that
Yep.
too.
Yep.
He also excels at what Zack Snyder did with Man of Steel as this god coming to Earth. Like, what do we do? So it's an interesting twist in both films. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be a little optimistic then. So the question is for you guys. What do you guys think of this trailer? What is your reaction to it? Do you have any high hopes? Do you agree with Ike's statements or my statements? Let us know in the comments below. All right, so the last thing we have on our agenda for the Multiverse Minute will be Marvel Studios has announced they are coming back to San Diego Comic-Con Hall H after skipping 2025. They're coming back in 2026, which honestly, I'm just gonna say this right up front, Ike. I did not expect that, to be honest. So I'll let you give your 2 cents, and I'll tell you what my view is of this and what my speculations are.
You know, I have to be honest with you. I kind of forget their history with this a lot. That Comic-Con was something other than listening to any news that was online. I didn't pay attention. I know they had some time where they didn't have some stuff because of they only had one movie out and all that. I'm not too surprised. They got a lot they're going to want to show us. What we're going to get though, I don't know. It all depends on, I think, timing of things. And this might be the time we hear more cast members for stuff. I'm not sure. I'm glad they are, because it is specifically Marvel. I know Disney always has a big presence in general, but it does say that it's specifically Marvel that has. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If there is a time for them to kind of talk about what they're really thinking about doing after uh, Doomsday or after Secret Wars, this would be the time to say, look, these are the movies on our way. Maybe without giving some spoilers either, but there's some we know are coming, right? We know X-Men's coming. We know that stuff. So this might be the time where they use that to kind of give you that indication that, by the way, after these movies, here's a few that we're looking forward to. They'll probably announce Blade again, because why not? Because they eventually want to make the movie.
They do.
Mahershala Ali might have to use a walker by the time they do it, but they might have to do it. So, I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe there's some Deadpool news, because I know there's a little bit of that floating around. So, I mean, you never know. That'd be kind of cool, or they'll probably give us some more TV show bullcrap. So maybe, who knows? But I bet you they do kind of give us if I had to guess, this really is more for after than it is what we're getting, because we're going to get a lot more of what we're coming to, coming out soon rather than later, my opinion. But I think a presence anywhere, even if it's small, is what they should keep doing.
Yeah.
I know Hall H is big though, so it's got to be big.
Yeah.
Because you don't get Hall H unless you got something, right?
Yes, and that's usually, historically, for Marvel, they've used San Diego Comic-Con, which is the biggest Comic-Con in the world, and Hall H in particular, which is a very huge. I haven't seen exactly full pictures of what this place is. It's just huge. That's where they do all their cast panels. Is when they roll out the red carpet for what they're doing for the next 3 or 4 phases. Sometimes that's where they get that. We're nail biting, and us that are at home are just scrolling through live news feeds to say, oh, they announced this. Oh, what's this? The cast is out. This is all that, that's where they announce all this stuff. I personally thought they were going to skip it this year, only because they are building up Doomsday, which, yes, it's all filmed. And by the time this happens, any reshoots they are doing are going to be done. And they're already starting to film Secret Wars. There is a rumor that by the end of this year, their first movie of the next phase is going to start filming, but that's the end of this year. So when I go back historically, like back in Endgame time, okay, guys, bear with me here. Endgame came out in May of 2019. Spider-Man: Far From Home came out in July 2019. It was literally neck and neck. Like, they even did a special thing, like, a week and a half or about at least a week, after Endgame came out to say, "You're gonna watch the trailer to Far From Home. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen Endgame yet." Like, they were so close, they didn't release anything of Spider-Man until after that. Um and they already had started filming Black Widow, and it was right after Far From Home came out, they had Hall H at Comic-Con, and that's when they announced their whole slate, but Endgame was done, Black Widow already started filming, but nothing was confirmed until they actually walked out, and it was the following year when it was gonna come out, so that all makes sense, and we're not getting a Marvel movie until after Secret Wars for the next phase, which is December of 2027, so I was expecting them to skip this year. If anything, I would expect them to do what they, do last year because they were coming off at that time of 3 films they already did for the year. Fantastic Four was like a week prior to when this started it came out, something around those lines. So I expected something a little more on that. The last time they were here was in 2024. That's when they announced Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and he had this big presence and everything. That was really cool. Um, this took me by surprise when this news came out because I was expecting them to skip this year, um, and then next year, in preparation for Secret Wars, they would do a full-on presentation of, by the way, after December, the first film you're gonna get in May of the following year is gonna be X-Men or whatever it's gonna be, you know? Um,
This is before Doomsday comes out, right? Like
yep,
this, yeah,
yeah, this is July,
yeah, that's right.
middle to end of July this year, and Doomsday comes out like 6 months later.
No, that
5
is
months.
right at that mark of a full trailer
I agree to that. I agree with what you said that
or
I
the
think
first 30 minutes of the movie,
mhm, yep, I think that this is where we're gonna get a full-length trailer other than what they've shown at CinemaCon, which I'm expecting any day now to drop, to be honest.
or another cast list.
At
Yeah,
if anywhere, this would be the place to announce the
yep,
cast because this is where A-list casts that don't go to comic conventions will go to. Like when they announced Eternals and Angelina Jolie walked on stage, she doesn't go to Comic-Con. She's one of those people that's like a Tom Cruise, like a Brad Pitt. They don't go to those conventions unless it's part of their media tour type
right.
thing. So this would be the place if they were going to announce all these A-listers coming back for X-Men, all their Avenger characters, all that stuff. This would be the place they would announce it.
Yeah, and now that I do realize it is the 6 months out, it does make more. I bet you it's Doom heavy.
Mhm.
I bet you with it's the Marvel. I think that's all they're going to focus
Yeah,
on.
I don't
You're
think they're
probably
gonna
going to get
touch them
some real
space.
cool spectacle come out. Robert's going to do his thing,
Mhm,
a good 20-minute show of him being Robert Downey,
mhm,
and I bet you get a lot. I bet there's a question answer with a whole group of actors up there. Maybe we get a couple surprise casting announcements.
mhm.
Definitely a full trailer, 100% guarantee. I bet you the first 5 or 8 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because this even comes out before Spider-Man: No Way or Spider-Man: Brand New Day comes out.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man: Brand New Day comes out on the 31st of July, and this usually is the 2nd to 3rd weekend of July when this happens.
Hmm.
So, they
Hell, they might even show Spider-Man
they
here
might, to be honest.
for the being that close.
I mean, this is Marvel Studios doing this presentation, it's not Sony, so I don't know where all the rules and stipulations are, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sony's doing
Yeah.
something, that would be where they're gonna do it. That's where they're gonna announce Tom Holland's in Doomsday, folks. There you go.
Hey, that'd be the place to do it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all speculation right now, but for me, just as a news bit on this, I was just surprised to hear this. I was not ex I would have thought of all the years to definitely skip, would have been this one.
Hmm.
I didn't think they were gonna skip last year, and they did. That surprised me because 'cause they're all leading up to Doom, all that stuff, and they had just started filming last year, so I'm like, "Oh, they got a teaser trailer already." They think about it, guys, when they started filming Doomsday, we were about a month away from the Thunderbolts movie when they started,
Hmm.
and the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts was Doomsday footage. The post-credit scene of Fantastic Four 2 months later was Doomsday footage. So part of me was like, "Oh, they're gonna do Hall H last year. They got Doomsday footage literally in the bag, all done. So of course they're gonna do something." And they skipped it. We're like, "Okay." So I was expecting, this year they're gonna skip it too, because all that, but I think you're right. I think they're gonna make this Doom-centric. I don't think they're gonna touch Phase 7, or whatever Phase is next. What was it?
Well, if he does touch the next, it's gonna be the ones that are obvious.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll get the title of the first X-Men movie for an extra nugget. You got to remember, this isn't necessarily for the general audience. This is for people that come to Comic-Con, which are the nerds of the nerds, right? Us, we'll go to Comic-Con. Your general people out there, like friends of ours and stuff, that they don't know what goes on in these places,
Yeah.
or pay attention to that news. Unless a trailer actually hits online, they're not really talking about it,
Yeah.
So this is for the insiders, that really want to see it. So if anything, we get a title to an X-Men movie, nothing that's going to spoil anything. We know it's coming no matter what happens next. He's been talking about it forever, and it's pretty much on the slate. I mean, it's pretty much been said, yeah, we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so I think, that's kind of how I think it's going to go for sure.
The only movies that we know the Marvel is actively in development with are movies like the X-Men movie, because they already confirmed the
Right.
writers and the directors now. The Blade movie, they haven't really confirmed the directors or the writers of that, but they did say it's in development, production, whatever.
They know the title of it, Blade.
And then we do know that Ryan Coogler is working on a script for Black Panther 3 with Denzel
Correct.
Washington in final stages of being cast. That was a big thing at the time.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I love Denzel. I don't know what they're doing, but they can't just throw stars at me and make these better. That last one wasn't that good, guys. I'm sorry. No shade on Chadwick Boseman. I feel terrible, but it just wasn't.
Yeah. When we get
it's not good just because we're mourning somebody. I'm sorry. You can't use that against us.
Yep. No. Oh yeah. We got some hot takes on that one.
And you can't just throw Denzel in it and say it's going to be awesome. So sorry. I want a good story then.
This is supposed to be, from my understanding, his retirement movie.
Well, gosh, if Denzel's coming in that, then we know he's not Magneto. That's at least a fresh, thank goodness. Because that'd be another mistake. Not because he's black, because I just don't want Denzel playing Magneto. It's not got nothing to do with that.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I want people that are going to be around for a while doing it. Denzel's not going to do that forever.
Yeah. All right. So to wrap this up, any final thoughts?
No, I'm all set. I mean, I look forward to see what they do, and I hope that we get some Doom stuff. I mean, it'd be cool. It's I don't know. It does show though. I think I expect anything because they're desperate right now. They are in fix it mode. Yep. And this is any little bit they can put out, they're going to start doing. I think they're going to be strategic about it and fun about it and make it look like they know what they're doing. And maybe by now they do have their footing on it for sure. But this is definitely in response to, God, we hope it's good, which is the unfortunate state we're in because, even going, this is the first time where I keep in my mind saying to myself, if Doomsday is good, we're back on track. But I still am like, yeah, but if Doomsday is good, it still might not be good enough yet. So I guess all depends on where we're at. Every good thing they do, every good movie they have, every goodwill they can get from us is, and don't get me wrong, it's the most successful franchise out there. So when I say doing bad, it's just in taste because they're making all the money, folks. Might not be as much as like before, I guess, but they're making all the money.
Yeah.
So, especially this movie. This movie could be dog crap. It's still going to make a ton of money. So, either way, but I'm excited. Yeah, maybe someday we'll be at one of these.
That's one of my hopes.
Doomsday's good. We're going to the next one because it's going to be the push to.
That's why I'm saying I think that the Comic-Con 2027 Hall H will be the one that's going to reveal the next phase or two of the MCU. Because they have no choice at that point if they're gonna do it. That would be the one to do it.
And that'll be our last chance to see our OG X-Men together because we know they're coming back in Secret Wars, even if for a brief moment. Secret Wars is going to have everybody.
They're going to have everybody.
They're going to have everybody plus is what's going to happen in
Yes.
Secret
They're
Wars.
gonna have that old granny from the Deadpool movies. They're gonna
Yeah.
have everybody. I forgot
Yeah.
her name.
Tobey Maguire's roommate from the first movie, he's going to be in it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're all going to be everybody. Yeah.
The girl across the
That's right. Yeah, the girl across the room. Yeah.
Yeah, in the second Tobey Maguire movie, the one that baked them the cookies, she's gonna be in
They
it.
should just show up. She's just going to be there.
Be like, hi.
Yep. Should be. Yep. Feeding doom grapes or something. Who knows? Everybody's going to be in it. Feige's going to be in it. It's
Feige's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be in it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, the question is for you. We're let's see. Marvel Studios is coming back to Hall H of the San Diego Comic-Con. Big deal. Big things happen at that one. So what do you guys think is going to happen? What are your thoughts on them returning? Why do you think they're returning in this year instead of next year? And we know when they're going to return next year too. But what are your predictions for Hall H of 2026?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that concludes our Multiverse Minute. And so we are going to segue over to the Rumor Mill Roundup, right?
Rundown. Yep.
Rundown.
We will get these. We got so many guys. We're going to eventually be right on it.
Yeah. We have great titles, but then as we're live with you, we're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm tongue twisters here. So.
Oh, if you only knew, Sam, when I filmed my Dark Dimensions this last week, the first one, 7 times, folks, I had to restart the Dark Dimensions part because I'm like, I just said it wrong every time.
By the way, I've seen the first cut of it. We saw a preview of it last night, and I already started working on the editing part of it today. I'd tell you what, it is really good. So, guys, pay attention because that will be dropping within the next week.
Awesome.
So, all right, on to the Rumor Mill Rundown.